When I was a teenager, some people described me as happy, smiling all the time. Other people described me as not really happy, hardly ever smiles. Now, how can I have been both? Hi, I'm Reverend Allie Bierman, and I'm very glad you joined us here today for Let's Get Metaphysical show, where we show you how to discover the invisible forces driving your life in every single moment. Where do you think the choices are coming from or the actions you take? Let's get back to the story. Another thing happened as I started my practice in psychotherapy. Yeah, I started out as a mainstream psychotherapist. Though neurotic problems, I worked always in the population of the chronically mentally ill because I figured it would be fun, it would be challenging, it would certainly be different. Here's another area where there is a conflict. When I think, I look really serious. A lot of people interpreted that as being angry. Is we project how we feel, how we think onto other people, but I'm not you. And if you put your projections onto me, they're definitely not going to be accurate. So it's important to pay attention to how you feel and to pay attention to what your face is doing, because your face is showing the world a particular mood, what you could be thinking. So if you're looking for help from somebody and you're feeling sad or depressed, do you really want to go to somebody who has this big, bright smile on all the time? Well, yes and no. Yes, to help you to come out of wherever you're stuck, but not to appear as though you're just not really listening. Listen to the person you're with. And listening is something you do from your heart. It's not what you're listening to. You're hearing stuff through your ears, but that's not the same thing as listening, and most definitely not the same thing as listening from your heart. You want to tune in to the other person. What are you tuning into? You're tuning into the other person's energy. And the only way to do that accurately is be quiet yourself. Get out of the picture. It's not about you. It's about the other person. And only by being quiet and listening, you listen to their words. But more than that, you listen to their body language. You listen to what their face looks like, to what their energy's saying, all of which speaks way louder than the words you might hear spoken. Being happy, being sad, doesn't that change from moment to moment by how you're feeling and what's creating how you're feeling? What's creating your feeling, what you're responding to, is what's going on in your head. What are the stories? What's rambling on and on in your head when, if you shut down what's going on in your head and be present to the person you're with, then, and only then, can you hear, can you feel their energy? Because the energy is coming out at you. But if you're so busy thinking, well, I have all the answers, I'm just going to wait for a break here so I can speak up, get out of the way. Don't tell somebody you're a good listener because you don't have a clue. When you're listening to somebody, your body's doing most of the listening. Your body is doing most of the listening. I love one of my friends, Dr. Tom. He's in the LifeWave business with me, and we listen really well. We might ask questions to be able to figure out what a person needs what the person wants, what their outcome is, not what we want for them, but only by listening with our heart. And I love that he says lots of bright things that I write down. He said, always share life wave, and sometimes even use words. Now, I'm going to repeat that. Always share life wave, and sometimes even use words. Because the main communication, I don't care who you are or what the situation is, the main communication is an energy exchange. Their energy's impacting you, your energy's impacting them. And that's what you're reading, that's what your heart is reading if you're present in a conversation, which may or may not have words. What goes on up here and it's logical in your head, that's not the truth of what's happening for you. Get that out of the way. Always go down into your heart because it's your feelings that cause you to be in a particular mood. It's what you're feeling according to your interpretations of events. Your interpretations of events, not necessarily the interpretation that was assigned by the person sharing, because we each interpret every single incident in life differently because we each come from our own personal experiences, our own personal beliefs. Beliefs change. Think about where you are right now. Pick a topic. What do you believe about that topic now? Now think back 20 years ago. What did you think about that same topic then? What if a certain situation happened back then? How would you have responded? But what if that same situation's happening now? You're having a different experience, a different response. That becomes very, very noticeable as people get older. I've had friends for decades and decades, and I know how they used to respond to a situation. And now, with age, with experience, with life, with all the changes, same situation comes up, they have a completely different response. They're no longer reacting. When you're younger, there's a good chance you're just reacting. And reacting is not coming from your heart. It's coming from what you're telling yourself up here in your head that you think is logical, but logic doesn't really guide your life. It doesn't forward where you are or how you're feeling and why you're feeling. So pay attention to what's going on in your heart, to what you're noticing about how you might be feeling in the situation that somebody else is sharing with you. Pay attention to get yourself out of the way so you're free and open to feel the actual energy coming from your friend or your colleague. You can only do that if you get out of the way. I remember when I was working on my master's in psychology, mainstream psychology, and my art therapy teacher was working on somebody. And frankly, it was the first time I had somebody demonstrating energy. I used it in my life. I didn't know what it was. I just know you put your hands on somebody, warmth comes flowing through into the person where they're having some kind of owie. So I'm watching him demonstrate, and he's working on one of the students in his class. And back then I could see auras. And as he was sending energy, his energy was going big. and little, and big and little, and big and little, because it's not just one stream. Your energy knows what's needed. You don't have to figure it out. You put your hands there. You don't have to figure it out. Always trust what's going on in your heart, and even bigger than that, trust the universe. Now, I define universe as your guides, your angels, your entities. And when I would work with somebody, I would include the client's guides, energies, and entities, because everybody's present at the same time, energetically. Everything in life is energy. I'm energy. You're energy. And energy is not related to what's jabbering on in that mind of yours. I wanted to share with you today. Well, I just want to. I'm going to share with you today how to turn any moment when you're feeling crummy or sad or angry, how to take that moment and instantly change it to a moment where you're feeling happy. Does that sound possible? Been doing it for decades, and it works. And it's not going to bring you to a place where you've resolved what made you feel bad. That might take a little longer. However, what if you can change your mood instantly? Be present to whatever activity you're doing. And then know at some later time, you can come back, you can contact me, and we'll find out what's going on for you so that you can be genuinely happy all the time. And yes, I said all the time. Again, I'm Reverend Ellie Bierman, and this is Let's Get Metaphysical show. And I'm so glad that you're here today, and you can go on over to our Facebook group, ask a question, see extras I put in there. The show notes are always here attached. They're part of this, whether you're watching it or you're listening to it, which you can do either one over on YouTube or over on our show site. And that link is also in the show notes. You can also leave a review very easily. Remember to go on over to Audible, claim your gift, a free tour of Audible for 30 whole days, and the audiobook of your choice that you get to keep whether or not you continue as a member. Join our club, ALITLC.club, and get some recordings of Thrive Expert recordings available only there, and other stuff that I put in only there, so you get to be special, but only when you are a member. Remember to enjoy, that's capital I-N, capital J-O-Y, every moment. Because nothing in your life ever happens outside of your body. You need the body to interpret all the signals coming to you energetically from the environment. And I look forward to being here with you next time. Thanks for tuning in to the Let's Get Metaphysical show. Be sure to click the chat mark and follow us so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, I appreciate you leaving a rating, a review, and be sure to share it with 2 friends. Tune in every Monday for more exciting insights and wisdom on life beyond your 5 senses. Until next time, take a small step in a new direction and start now.